All right, I think I'm going to do a recap on the paddle technique, and what I'm going to do is start out with doing all the wrong things in my paddle stroke, like I'm doing right now, and I'm going to correct each one. Okay, so I'm doing about 5 things wrong, and let's see if we can correct them one by one. So number 1 is I'm fanning. I'm not getting my paddle in. I'm reaching way too far, way above my feet, but I'm not putting my paddle in, so at my ankle. So how to fix that is I bring my paddle up, calibrate, get it in like this. So I'm calibrating my stroke now, so I go in at the ankle. So fix number 1. The other thing I'm doing is bringing my paddle back too far. My top hand was dropping too far. Okay? So I'm going to fix that now. You can see my top hand doesn't go much lower than my chin, because when my bottom hand hits my knee, I'm pulling out. Okay? Now another thing is I'm bearing my paddle too far. So let me see if I can get my paddle in deep at the start, and then slowly come out as I'm coming out. Okay, that's fixed. Now if I look at my head, if I'm doing too much forward motion like this, I can have my stroke done. That's not good. So if anything, I want to go forward and come back. Try to minimize the motion of this thwart against the bottom. Again, if it doesn't hurt to come back. You're probably, most top paddlers do. Your head comes forward at the beginning of the stroke, back a little bit at the end. Another thing you want to do is, I didn't mention before, your lower back should be straight. You should feel like your belly button is out. Okay. Also, remember we talked about driving down. Your butt should feel like it's coming off the seat a little bit, taking weight off your butt. So all these elements, I'll try to put all these together now. Okay, like a nice, quick, this should be 72 strokes a minute. Okay, driving down. My feet are tensing, or my right leg is tensing on the right side. My left leg is tensing on the left side. I'm breathing. I can feel my breathing is intensifying a little bit. My heart rate probably went from 115 to possibly 140. Okay? And since I'm breathing, and I'm probably getting very effective efficiency from the amount of effort I'm putting in. In other words, the energy output of my body is making a big difference in the boat speed. Okay, so just a little recap. I talked about most of the elements. Again, for those of you that are getting started, you want to have that list of at least 5 things in your every 5 minutes. You should be looking and adjusting your stroke. Again, all within what works for your style. If it feels way super uncomfortable, something I mentioned, then work on it gradually. And so those are, I guess, those 5 or 6 things are about the main things related to stroke. As far as where you hold your paddle, if you want more power, like downshifting, you put your hand down towards the blade, because the pivot point changes. It's like having a bigger fulcrum on your pivot, so it tends to give you more power. If you want more speed, you can hold up a little bit. I don't recommend that unless you're really, really strong. Big people have lots of muscles. You get a lot of speed by choking up on their paddle. Someone like me, I'm better off kind of a couple inches from where the blade attaches to the shaft. That's another element. I guess we can talk about paddle length a little bit, and seat height. Those come hand in hand. If you're seat is high, you're going to need a longer paddle to reach. How we usually tell that is when you're sitting in a, for our seat height, you're sitting in your boat. Now in oar canoes might be a little different, but if you're sitting down, your fingertips should go into the water. Straight back, right? Your fingertips should go in the water, and that's usually a sign that so my fingers are going in about like that. That's a sign that you're not too low, not too high. So if you can't reach the water, your seat may be too high, okay? If all your fingers are buried, that could be a sign that your seat's too low. So that just kind of gives you a range on seat height. Now, paddle length generally is not quite as objective. Obviously, if you like a lower seat, you can have a shorter paddle. If you like a higher seat, you're going to need a longer paddle. Generally, if you're 6'3", you're going to tend to go with maybe a little longer paddle. If you're 5'3", you're going to feel more comfortable with a shorter paddle. Generally, 49 inches, 50 inches is a good measure from bottom to the top of the blade. So I like to paddle with about a 49.5. I used to paddle with a 51, 52 just because that's what I was told, but I find that for my strength and endurance and age, the shorter paddles seem to do well. Another thing is paddle width. I generally like a fairly narrow 8 1/8, 8 1/4 width. You don't really need a lot of surface area, it's been shown. In the old days, in the 60s, they used to have these big pizza scoops, whatever. I mean, they're just huge paddles. And I don't know why that trend started, but now it's been shown that a nice light, narrow paddle is fine. Now maybe for a war canoe, outrigger canoe, where you have lots of guys that are fairly muscular, you could go with a slightly bigger paddle, but that's not necessarily very important. Okay, so that's a rundown of some major paddling things. I'm going to pause here and we'll continue in a bit.